Hi, good afternoon. It's Mark from Italy. I'm a friend of Paul at Swiss Cycles, and he's asked me to give an insight of how the real situation is in Brescia, northern Italy. As you may have seen from Sky News, Brescia is at the front of the battle with the coronavirus, or as you know it, Covid19. All this started off here around at the end of January. We all thought it was something that would never arrive from China, like SARS. We were all very relaxed. Also, the general information all around was that it was like a flu, and that the statistics said that normal deaths for flu were far superior to this, and that it only affected the elderly and the frail. In January, there were no real controls at the airports, and everyone was fairly relaxed. Also, the government said there was nothing to be worried about. We were super prepared if it would break out. Then, round about mid-February, in a small place called Codogno, patient 1 had the first coronavirus virus, and he was held there. The little town of Codogno was cut off, and they tried to contain it. Then it spread to Milan, and then roundly about the 23rd of February, which is national holiday here, the hell broke loose. In Brescia especially, on the 23rd of February, it's Carnevale period, and there's the national holiday of San Faustino, where thousands and thousands of people gather at special events, and that was a major factor in spreading the contagious disease, which is 4 times more contagious than influenza. Another error which happened were football matches were still held, major Serie A football matches where loads of people were gathering. And then around about the 23rd of February, schools were closed, which was good for the kids. My son has been here in quarantine since the 23rd, and it's not easy for kids to understand. Hearing the ambulances going about asking why he can't be free to do all the normal daily activities is a big question for 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds, or even smaller kids. Then in that week there was the famous thing, which you guys are experienced, called social distancing. The government also thought here that if you kept a 2-meter space away from another, you would be safe. Even in the restaurants, they told the restaurants to put tables 2 meters away from each other. Then they had very peculiar bans as well, saying that after 6 o'clock, the bars were all to be closed. At the weekends, the bars were all to be closed. Very strange ideas, thinking that this virus, had a timer in it. Obviously, the virus, all in this period, in this uncertainty, was jumping about like wildfire, from asymptomatic guys, girls who don't have symptoms, spreading to weaker people, spreading it around, being loose, and basically it was just a chain reaction. Then they cottoned on that, these measures of social distancing, 2 meters, also not handshaking also your arm, not hugging and kissing. Obviously for Italians and Latinos it's very important to hug and kiss. They stopped all this, but it just kept on increasing, this pandemic. And what happened next is that, reaching an explosion point where the hospitals were starting to explode, well, I think it's where you are now. The decision had to be made to try and protect the health system. So then there was a big debate on whether to shut down the industries. The associations here, the industrial associations, didn't want to shut them down, so they weren't shut down. All the other unnecessary activities were shut down. All the same, if you don't shut everything down immediately for at least a month, as the Chinese do, this thing just kept on spreading and spreading and spreading. Now you can hear in the background, our ambulance, this is a normal part of our daily life. Reaching a situation where also the mayor says we are in dire trouble of 70, 80 deaths a day. The only choice now was to lock everyone in. Nobody can go out. You can only go and do exercise 200 meters outside the perimeter of your property, because also there was people trying to interpret the law in their own way. which wasn't very productive. One example that comes to mind where the serious outbreak happened was the weekend before, the 23rd. Everyone thought it was a national holiday, and they kept their social distancing. They went skiing, all massed together. They went, for their aperitivos, and this was just like, a lot of wildfire, and the virus kept on just spreading, jumping. Now to a situation where we're just trying to keep in as many people as possible, and we have to consider also the ill people who are at home, not in hospital, with symptoms, and getting over it as well. I mean, it's a very, very, very dangerous situation. I'm looking at my points here because there's so much to talk about. One thing which is very, very dangerous as well on the internet is all the false information and all the fake news, or all the keyboard warriors spreading misinformation around. I mean, it was bad enough for the governments to say it was just a simple flu. Take what you see on the internet with a pinch of salt. Obviously, you have to trust your governments for their directives, and you have to support your own country, and you have to protect the elderly and the frail, and build common sense. If you want to go out for a bike ride, okay. If it's a transport to work, okay. But you really need to take pressure off your health system, because if you're going for a bike ride, if you fall over, there's no guarantee that they will be able to come pick you up and fix you up in time. I know the NHS system has always been a bit weak. I lived in England. I was born there, and also last year when I lost my father, I saw what Leicester City Hospital was like. Not the best of states. And you have an accident, you hit a pothole, or you skid over, you fall over, concussion, you start calling 999. Maybe they can't attend to you, and if they do attend to you, maybe they'll come pick you up, and you're taking away energy and resources from someone who's in a lot more of a serious state for you. And then when you get there, maybe you're put in a corner, and then maybe you catch this virus and you get worse. Go in with a broken leg, and you come out with screwed up lungs, or even you don't come out ever again. So this is a serious thing to think about. The thing about social distancing, about 2 meters, there are various theories around. We are now lucky to have the Chinese task force and the Russian task force over here helping us out with their experience in viruses. The Chinese task force said immediately that we're absolutely crazy still walking around and not all masked up, because this virus apparently, okay, the 2 meters in open air, that's okay, because it's obviously something which travels in droplets. In closed spaces, it's also known to travel up to 4.5 meters, 5 meters, apparently, to Chinese sources. So this era of misinformation, have to be really, really careful. So the best thing is, to protect yourselves, to lock up, get used to living in for 2 months. I mean, our grandfathers, they stayed in for years during the war, in much more difficult situations, without internet, without the technology which we have today. Quite rightly, the government says that they have exercise. This is quite right. I agree with, because also you're in the house and you're not consuming as many calories. 2 points here: don't hoard food and don't stuff your face, because you're not burning these calories. And also, you can do home training. You can set up your bicycle inside with Strava, or you can buy a stepper on Amazon if you're in time, as I did. And you can see on YouTube there's lots of training exercises to be done. So the resources are very, very infinite. I mean, I lost 2 kilograms in this period, which is quite strange. So it can be done, and it could also be a point of fun, with your family, to all train together. It's also staying inside. You can do those things you never had time to do. Or you can read books, or you can play those board games which only comes out at Christmas. It's time to reconnect with your family as well in this modern hectic era, getting back to basics, which is, I think, quite fit and healthy, for us at this moment, in this very, very difficult period. So, obviously protect the elderly and the frail. Protect yourselves and be prepared now to stick it out. With online shopping as well, you don't need to go to the supermarket. When you go to the supermarket as well, you have to be very careful. I have not been to the supermarket. I've been doing online shopping, which is a lot. It's not as advanced as it is in England. We haven't got as much choice. I mean, here in Italy, they are just too attached to traditions of, go to the supermarket, buying, meeting each other, and this has to change here as well. And basically, we've all been caught with our pants down in this situation. But I'm sure at the end of the tunnel there's a light, and we'll come out stronger and wiser. And also, this is an opportunity to reconnect socially and to start investing in the green economy. Another example here, the pollution levels have gone down so much. They actually did say that there was a connection with the pollution in the Po Valley, in the Lombardia area, with this virus. That according to the pollution, that the virus was traveling a lot quicker. As you may know, the Lombardia area is one of the most polluted areas because it's one of the most industrialized areas. Now that less cars are going around and less lorries are going around, less people around, the pollution levels have gone down. Even the sea and the lakes, they're cleaner. It's bizarre. In the parks here in Milan, there are rabbits coming out, which is unseen. And the birds are happy. I mean, it's springtime, and I don't know, maybe a wake up call from nature. Let's grasp the positive sides of it and not look all doom and gloom. Obviously, I won't lie to you, it is mentally tough, but you have to be strong. You have to stay positive, take all the precautions when you go shopping, rubber gloves and masks and glasses. Do not touch your eyes, do not touch your nose. Sanitizer gel, there is actually a recipe on the OMS which I could pass on how to make your own hand sanitizer gel. So the resources are there, and try to go out as less as possible, and don't think you're better. This is an invisible enemy. It's not a visible enemy where you've got guns pointing. You do not know where it's coming from. I actually received a shop today and went down with our masks on, glasses on. The guys took they left the stuff on the doorstep and kept our distance. It's strange. It will take time to get used to. And the future also, in this new future work-wise, a lot more smart working has to be adopted. It's going to take time for people to trust each other again with these new dynamics. We can get there. I'm sure, being wise. And the main thing now is to protect the health service and to protect yourselves. And don't think that you are bigger and more intelligent. The thing which I'm finding a bit strange, it hit here, and so much knowledge could have been acquired. I mean, we were a bit slow in cottoning on. Now we've got the Chinese coming over here, and we're understanding what we have done wrong and what should be done to get over this period. We're following their model. The UK, hopefully, and other countries will be following this model. As a whole, the nation, Italy, especially Lombardia area, was completely abandoned by the European project, which we have noted and taken note. Things I think will change, I hope will change. There is a strange presence of the communist countries helping us out. We can't complain of that because we're in dire trouble. And geopolitically, this is going to change things a lot. Another thing about when you go shopping, consider the virus has a lifespan also on surfaces, on cardboard boxes, on plastics and metals. So do not touch these articles and put them straight in your mouth, your hands in your mouth or in your eyes. Disinfect them with alcohol as well. Always be ever so careful. Keep up your activity. You can get indoor trainers for your bicycles. You can get steppers. You can do push-ups, sit-ups. You can go for little strolls around, taking the rubbish. That's going to consume calories, and just reduce the intake of calories because it's not necessary to stuff your face. I just think about other things. Stay strong, guys. If you have any questions, just feel free to contact me. Paul has got my details. I'm sure we're going to get over this. Obviously, the next challenge will be the economies. Hopefully, England, Great Britain and Italy will create a special relationship between each other. There's always been a special relationship. And think about how to rebuild, how to rebrand, how to get connection, the trust and the faith of the consumers. And it's going to probably pull us all closer together mentally, and it's going to push us towards a more of a smarter way of working. I cannot think of any other things, but I hope I've given you enough information. Obviously, the main aim of this to help you see what the situation is over here. If I helped you in any way, I'm very, very happy. And the thing I can say now is, take care, God bless, and stay strong, and stay inside. There's no need to go outside. Prepare to sit it out for a month and a half, and you'll see the advantages. I did it a bit earlier than the others here. Touch, I don't know, stone, wood, whatever. That we've done things wisely, and hopefully we can all in the summer smile and say we managed to do it. Obviously grieve the losses, because there are losses, lots of losses, especially over here. It has completely wiped out the elderly generation over here, completely changed it. Is absolutely, that's going to be missed from the city, the knowledge and experience of the 60-year-olds and 70-year-olds. And we'll start thinking about the future, and thinking about our children, and how to make it a safer place and a better place, because this is a wake-up call, guys. We can change and get this better and get it right this time, for all the errors which have been done by our forefathers, all the pollution, all the corruptness, and all the terrible things which have been happening. So this could be a change for the best.